OFX, what's popping? So, different ways that we have to enter the market. Okay, we have these three up here: market execution, buy and sell limits, and then buy and sell stops. Okay, so when we're looking at this, okay, first of all, we always have to understand that we're always going to have spread. So on the MT4, you can see when you are about to place a trade, there's those two lines, the bid and the ask price, always going to be spread. Okay, so when we're going to look at market execution, excuse me, when we're going up, the bottom line is going to be at the body of the candle, and then the top line is going to be above that. Okay, it's going to be floating in the air. So when we want to buy at market execution, what's going to happen is we're not going to buy right here. What's going to happen is when we place a buy, it's going to enter us right there because of the spread. Okay, and then of course our stop loss wherever you want it. But what happens is as price goes into profit, so let's say price from here starts going into profit, what happens is once this bottom line goes above your entry, then you're in profit. Okay, it's all on this bottom line. So if this is right here, this is right here, then you're still negative. But as price goes up and this bottom line goes into profit, then you are in profit. Okay, and the TP, let's say this is your TP, okay, for whatever reason. It could be like this, boom, that's right on your TP, and then this is right below. Your TP is not hit yet, okay? Until that line, the bottom line, hits your TP, then you are in profit, okay? And then if we're gonna do the same thing with sales, let's say we were gonna sell right here. Let's say we were gonna sell right off of this candle right here, okay? The bottom line is gonna be, again, at the body of the candle. The bottom line is always going to be on the body of the candle, whether it's going up or going down. This is the bottom, and then that was the bottom for this candle. Okay, when we sell market execution, what's going to happen is our sell is going to be placed right there. Okay, whether we sell right here where price currently is or not, spread is going to make it so it's right there. Okay, and then same thing, vice versa. What we have to do is we have to let price go into profit, and then once that bottom, or I guess the top line in this case, goes past your entry, then you are in profit. Okay, and then same thing, if you want this to be your TP, if this line's right here and this line's right here, TP is not hit yet. Once this bar goes to your TP, then it's hit. Okay, so a lot of times you might need to work things around that, but whatever. But that's basically what it is. When you enter trades, it's spread is always going to affect it, and you always have to plan out for the TPs, the stop losses, and the entries and everything. So now, buy limits to sell limits. So if we have a buy limit is when price comes down to a certain level, hits it, and then shoots up. Okay, in a perfect world, that's what we want to happen. Okay, and we have a limit on a certain price level, and we want price to come down into that level, hit it, and then go up. And then for sell limits, we set a sell limit at a certain price, and once price hits it, then it hopefully sells off. Okay, that's what buy and sell limits are. They're basically areas where you can set it and forget it, and it works really, really well. And there was actually 2 trades last week that I took, or that I wanted to take, and I fell asleep and missed them, and it would have been 40% overall that I would have made, and it sucked, and I was pissed off about it. So now that's why I'm really diving in to starting to use limits. Now, when you want to use a sell limit, okay, how we were talking about this over here, we were talking about this, okay. When we want to look at a sell limit, this is our POI. What we want to happen is we want that candle itself to actually come up in there, so we put the sell limit right at the POI, right? Because the bottom line is always going to be on the actual body of the candle. And when we're looking at a sell limit, what we need to happen, just like the spread, what we need to happen is we have to have that bottom line come up and touch it. If the top line's touching it, it's not going to enter you. If the bottom line touches it, then we're entered. But since the bottom line is connected to the body of the candle, and we want to enter when the body of the candle touches the POI, we place the sell limit on the actual POI. Okay. And now for was I saying a sell limit, right? I hope I wasn't saying a buy limit. When we want to place a buy limit, okay, let's say That's what we want to do. Let's say we want to buy, okay? What we have to do with a buy limit when we want to buy is a little different than a sell limit. We have to measure out the spread. So let's say spread is 2 pips, okay? So we would place our buy limit just a little bit above the actual POI, okay? Because when price is coming down, it's going to look something like this. Not like that. Okay, what we're going to have when price is coming down, it's going to be something like that. And then we're going to have something like this. It's going to be coming down. Once this bottom line touches it, the actual body of the candle is in it. So what we need to have is the buy limit just a little bit above, so that once this top line comes, right, because just like this, vice versa, the top line needs to come in and hit the buy limit, so it will activate it. So once the body of the candle gets in here, we need to have our buy limit up enough so that we can get the trade executed, right? Because we're not going to be here and watch it happen. So what happens is we have to have that buy limit just a little bit above, so when the actual body touches the zone, we can have it executed, right? So hopefully that makes sense. And then we can buy up and we can take it to wherever we want to take it, right? So those are buy limits and sell limits. They're really, really dope. With sell limits, again, have the sell limit right at the POI. The buy limit needs to be a little bit up above, okay? That's how it works. So that's that. And then sell limits, or I mean sell stops and buy stops. So when we're looking at a sell stop and buy stop, a sell stop would be something like this. Price is already going down and we want to catch the momentum. We want to catch the trend, whatever it is. Price is already going down like this and then like this, okay? What we do is, well, I don't use these, but what I've seen people do is they will set a sell limit or a sell stop as it's going down, and once it passes the sell stop, then it triggers the entry, okay? Triggers the entry, and now you're in the trade. And again, what needs to happen is we have to have that top line cross it, okay? So once it's right here, okay, if it's like this, it's not activated. But then once that top line goes past, then it's activated, and then you have a trade like this, and then wherever your stop is and whatever, and then it's going. And as long as this top line is below, they're good. Same thing for buys. Price is coming up. Once it passes that, boom, you're entered, right? And then that's that. And then what you need to have is you need to have the bottom line above, okay? So once the bottom line is above, you're in profit. If it's below, you're not in profit, okay? So those are buy limits and sell limits, and that's pretty much it. Like, it's pretty simple. It just gets a little confusing when you look at the spread and you incorporate all that stuff. And then the main thing with buy limits and sell limits is sell limits are at the POI. Buy limits are a little bit above. You have to incorporate the spread. The only thing with that is that if you place a buy limit on the spread base at 5 p.m., it's going to be different at 5 a.m. So if it comes back down at 5 a.m., you might actually enter the trade a little early, not when the POI gets or the price gets to the POI, because the spread will get smaller. So if you place a trade on GA at 5 p.m. and it doesn't get down there till 5 a.m. and hit the limit, then it might be a little different. You might get in a little early, so you might want to change the limit prices, you know, before you go to sleep or you go to work or whatever reason you're using it for. You might want to change it before that. But that's it. OFX out.